This is the establishing shot for our first advert, and it sets the scene rather well. Conventions from today's football giants establish that it has to be recognised as a football advert from the word go. We have emulated this through the use of the Shea Stadium stand in the background. Our establishing shot breaks the viewer in nicely without throwing the spectator in at the deep end. The FIFA 12 advert strays away from a conventional style normally used for focusing on the aspects of football, whereas our advert focuses purely on the beautiful game.
This is our second shot, and it establishes the male lead, and it shows we've tried to create an atmosphere that anybody can make it big in the football world. The use of a male is for the audience to identify with him as opposed to a female, as normally it is males who are the footballers who enjoy playing. This shot shows the male lead dreaming about one day becoming a professional footballer. The inclusion of the flash after this reinforces his passion and desire to get into the game. We are breaking conventions here because we do not have access to the sort of stars that other blockbuster games do, like Pro Evolution and FIFA 12. And this helps them to promote their game and in the target market. However, as you don't have the access or funds to attract these stars, we've had to build one up from scratch in the form of our male lead. And the target market will be able to identify with this man, and it motivates potential buyers that it could be them.
This is our third shot. The pan shot fully establishes the scene, and it is a POV shot of the male lead. Despite it being obvious that this inclusion of a football pitch within the advert follows the conventions as it is a staple of the sport. In our original storyboard, we wanted the pan to dissolve into some actual gameplay of a similar angle panning across the pitch. This was going to show a player scoring a goal. We really wanted to include this as it would follow the particular conventions as well as promoting the actual product. Unfortunately, the ICT system within the school is not up to scratch and could not handle the gameplay file, meaning it was impossible to insert.
This fourth shot is a pinnacle shot within our advert. The mise-en-scène has been taken into account greatly with the changing rooms and kits. This follows conventions within other adverts. The stadiums and kits are shown the full way through to put across to the viewer that they can make it with their team. This shot also shows the progression of one's dreams and that they can become a reality, and follows the narrative of them dreaming earlier on. In addition to this, it is very similar to a shot from FIFA 12, and this allows the advert to flow and picks up the pace as it builds towards the climax.
The next shot in our advert, which is the climax of the first one, brings together all the conventions we've used before. The use of costume and the football framed against the football tunnel has become an iconic shot in our advert, and the one people are most likely to remember. It also goes full circle with narrative, as he has achieved what he dreamt about previously. Also, as shown by the shadow, he is in the transition from the darkness of being unknown to becoming a star in the football world.
So, this is the first shot of our second advert. The first shot of our second advert, we needed to establish that it wasn't edited in a lot of terms of style. The effect we were going for was a more animated look compared to the previous advert. This is to make up for the lack of gameplay we were unable to use. This breaks conventions as we are not actually using any gameplay, but we are just using an effect. Also, to establish this is an advertisement, there is a banner to make it clear. It has also introduced us to the lead, who is once again male, so we did not alienate the target market.
This long shot is used to establish the scene, and the use of mise-en-scène is very similar to that of the FIFA 12 advert, with the use of dilapidated settings. This enhances the emotional response created in the spectator as it is in an urban setting. The colour of the bright purple jumper makes the audience focus on the lead, and the effect makes the brickwork very dull and draws the audience eye. The introduction of the male lead in the subway is another aspect of football.
Now this next shot is different compared to other adverts, and is breaking the conventions through the use of spoken quotes. To bring attention to them, we also changed the font to stand out more also in the shot. We continued the atmosphere of the urban slum. We used famous quotes from some ex-professional players who have made the biggest impact on the game, people like Eric Cantona and Bobby Charlton, and they spoke about how street football helped them in real game scenarios. Now this should hopefully influence viewers and motivate them to buy the product.
This is the fourth shot. This incorporates even more of an urban feel with the CCTV watching the footballer perform excellent trickery. This does follow conventions in terms of shot variety, but we have developed this convention by using the CCTV format. We felt that this gave another angle to the narrative as if it was being watched maybe by a professional football team, who knows.
This last shot is the inspirational shot of our second advert. The leaders come through the tunnel of progression, and this is highlighted by the level up flash. The green effect used also makes it seem like a video game and breaks the conventions because most video games do not show achievements you can get during the game. However, I would say that we've developed the convention of stuck with the brief of actually advertising what the game contains, whereas on most adverts you see a little phrase saying not in-game footage. We have not gone down this path.
The tagline is very important in selling video games and sticks with the conventions which have already been established. We went with a theme of 2012 due to the game being released this year. It also sticks with our theme of including the potential buyer in everything we do. This tagline can motivate them to be part of a professional team or be the 12th man. This is highlighted with the 12th being in a red font colour. The naming convention that we followed is based upon the football season of that year, i.e. FIFA 12, FIFA 11, standing for the years of 2012 and 2011.
Another convention we have followed is showing the actual game box with price and website information at the end of our advert. This is the last thing that the viewer will see, so it will stick in their mind. This also can lead them to our other forms of media with the website so that they can find out more about the game. This is a good marketing technique. This shows that at the same point on both adverts to add consistency and brand recognition.
The final shot of this slide shows our box art. It follows nearly every convention possible with the banner, which is like FIFA 12. We have advertised the game's features on the back with both images and text. The tagline is also shown at the bottom of the back cover and stands out due to its font colours. The picture on the front has been edited so it looks more game-like. This does not follow conventions, as most examples have stars all over the front. As discussed before, we are not able to do this. Another convention not followed is adding the leagues involved on the back of the game. Unfortunately, we're unable to do this as the images are copyrighted. Overall, we're happy with the game cover and feel it wouldn't look out of place in stores next to its competitors.